To get myself settled in here because it's been a bit. Hey guys, what's up? It's Ree here today, and today I am doing a unhaul. I've only done like one other one on my channel, and even then it was not that big of a haul. And today it is a huge one. I don't even honestly know how many books are in this tote. I know it's just in fact a lot, and I just have not had the time to unhaul them. These books are books that I've had on my shelf for like many years, and I just needed to be honest with myself and be like, am I gonna get to this anytime soon? If not, then I just need to go ahead and get rid of it. Now, I have not looked at these books since I toted them up. Maybe some that I may be on the fence of whether keeping or not. And that's where I could definitely use your help on some of these books that I say, because I don't know what all is in here. I don't remember what I put in here. And yeah, anyways, I say that I will not be giving synopsis on these books because there's so many, and I just honestly don't care because I'm getting rid of them anyways, if that makes any sense. With that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first books I have, they are a trilogy. I'm really on the fence with this one still. I just don't know whether or not it's worth keeping. I've heard so many great things about the series, and that's why like I'm having trouble getting rid of it. But it's definitely one that's been on my shelf for a very long time, and that is A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, The Sweet Far Thing, and Rebel Angels. I don't know if that's like the correct order. I just realized how awful this is gonna be toting them back up. The next book I have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So this one I have a new copy of. It's still very pretty copy, but I don't necessarily need to keep it. Next one I have is The Program by Suzanne Young. This one also was really hyped up when I was going through that dystopian phase. I really wanted to read this book. It's not that I'm out of the dystopian phase because I still love dystopian books, but it's been so long that I've had this book, and I don't even know how many books are in this series now. The next one I have is Girls Made of Snow and Glass by Melissa Marshall. So this was another book that was hyped up through, like, I think it was book 2, and yeah, it gets so attached to like books. I know I'm not like the only one because I've seen people talk about it, but like I get like attached to books. I don't know why it's so hard to unhaul books, but I'm like, it's like a piece of you letting go, but like you know you're gonna be buying a lot of books, so there's like no point of keeping them. Next book I have is Getting In by Karen Stabiner. Next book I have is The Jewel by Amy Ewing. I still want to kind of keep this book. If you like the selection, then you would like this book, and I just know it's gonna be very hard to find the hardcover for the rest of the series, but the cover is gorgeous. Like, I'm all for like dresses on book covers. I don't know. What I have is Shadows Cast by Stars by Catherine Knudsen. So this one was picked up at my mom's local library. They were doing a book sale, and I just don't think I'll ever read it. I've had it for years, and just, yeah. The next book I have is The Darkest Hour by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I've debated about keeping this one because I love Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's really cool to have an arc, so just that's one to keep hold of. The next one I have is Garden Stones by Sophia Littlefield. The next two books I have are part of a trilogy, and that is Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Saban Vivian. Fire and Fire. See, this still has like the sticker from when I bought it, and I usually take off the sticker, so I heard great things about Burn for Burn and wanted to read this at the time I was going through my To All the Boys I Loved Before phase, and wanted to read like everything Jenny Han. Next book I have is Requiem by Lauren Oliver. So this is a signed copy, and that is why I held on to it for so long. However, the covers have changed since I bought this book. It is this new awesome color. I'm not a fan of these covers, honestly. The new covers are amazing, and I love Lauren Oliver, but I just don't think I should just hold on to this book. The next book I have is Hungry by H.A. Swain. This is another dystopian book that I picked up on a whim, and here we are. Next two books I have is part of a series It was also actually a TV show for a while, and I really, really, really wanted to read the books because I love this show. I just don't see that happening. And this is the Carrie Diaries by Candace Bushnell. The next book I have is Emergency Contact by Mary H. Choi, and this is a double copy that I somehow managed to buy 2 of. The next book I have is Mortal Engines by Phillip Reeve. This is the author of The Golden Compass, and this is the movie tie-in edition of the book. But I think if I were to read the series, I would want matching books, because I really enjoyed the movie. I just don't know if it's similar to the books, which was a shame on me kind of thing, but it was kind of on a whim that I watched that movie, so we shall see. Next book I have is The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, and this is J.K. Rowling's pen name. I just don't have a desire to read this book. When I first heard about it, which was many, many years ago, I was interested, and now I'm like, nah, there's too many books in that series, and I have so many other series that are worth reading, and yeah. The next 2 books I have are also dystopian books, and don't have a desire to read them, and that is Slated and Fractured by Terry. Next book I have is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee, Audia. I thought that this was the first book, and I believe it's a duology. I've heard amazing things about this duology. I personally don't even remember what it's about, and don't know why I held on to the sequel for so long. It makes no sense, honestly. The next book I have is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I already own this book, guys, so don't worry. I am actually going to give this to my best friend because she wants to read it, and there's no point in me having 2 copies of this book. So, but I just don't need this second copy. I want all mine to be about the same size, and this one doesn't match up the size of my other books. The next book I have is Sky Without Stars by Jessica Brody and Joanne Handel. This is just a double copy, and I have every intentions of reading this trilogy. The book I have is Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. No idea what it's about. Don't know if it's my cup of tea anymore. Not gonna read too much into it, honestly. Another book I have is Mozart's Sister by Nancy Moser. I don't even know how I picked up this book. I don't. It sounded good, but here we are. This book I have is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. This is just a double copy. This was the original copy I owned, but I have the whole series in hardback. This was the only one I didn't have in hardback, so there's no point of keeping it because it's not matching. Alright, so the next books I have are ARCs that I'm just giving away. Have no need to keep them, so yes. We have A Soldier and a Liar by Caitlin Lochner. Miss Metal and Ash by Gwendolyn Clare. Beauty of the Moment by Nans Bahathair. Imprison the Sky by A.C. Goggin. All We Could Have Been by Tay Carter. Next one I have is There's Rune by Erin Beatty. This is one that I want to get the finished copy and read the series. I don't have the first one, so it's back to my regular books. If I have any more ARCs that I decide to give away, then I will let you know. Next book I have is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This is just a double copy, and I like the new copy I have more. The next one is The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Sayans. Another double copy that I have, and yeah. Next one I have is OCD Love Story by Corey and Haydu. This is just a contemporary book, but I have no interest in reading it. I love the colors of this book, and that would be the only reason to keep it, but I'm not going to keep it for that. Next one is Elixir by Hilary Duff. This is one I wanted to read because it was by Hilary Duff, and I love Hilary Duff, so I feel like that's not a good enough reason to keep it if I'm not going to read it. This one I have is World After by Susan E. This one this one I'm debating about because I wanted to read this trilogy because I've heard it's really good. I don't have the first book, but I have this second one. I guess it's just I came across it and I was like, we're gonna get it and we're gonna collect it. So this one I am kind of on the fence about. We shall see. This is another arc, and that is Dragon Watch Wrath of the Dragon King by Brandon Maul. This is a kids fiction book, and I won't be reading this series ever, so. The next book I have is just a set of 4 different books. So this one we have Letter from Home by Carolyn Hart. P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern, which I own this book. The Promise of a Lie by Howard Rogan. Then The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon, and I do want to get a copy of the that book because I've heard it's really, really good. We have Diary of the Wimpy Kid by Jeff Kinney, and this is just a double copy because I have all these books. I refuse to get rid of them. The next one is Chosen by Ted Dekker. No plans of reading this. I have is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. This one was another one that was really hyped up and have no interest. Well, I wouldn't say I have no interest, but all these books are now out in paperback, and if I wanted to read it, I would buy it that way. So, but I don't see myself getting to this ever, honestly, unless someone was like, hey, you need to read this soon because it's amazing. So what I have is Frankenstein by Marie W. Shelley, and this is one I picked up on the thrift store because I didn't have a copy and I thought it was cool and unique, but I don't need to keep this copy. I have Dracula by Bram Stoker. I love Dracula, and the new cover I own is beautiful, so we're just gonna get rid of this one. The next books I have are White Fang and the Call of the Wild by Jack London. Never read these. Don't think I ever will. May add these to my collection, but not these copies. Not these specific copies because I don't like them, honestly. I've had these probably since I was 7. The next book I have is Children of Eden by Joey Graceffa. The next book I have is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. My sister loves this movie and I wanted to read the book, but I don't think I'll read it. The next book I have is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. Never watched the movie, wanted to read the book. I don't think I'll read it. Still haven't watched the movie, so I just don't see myself keeping this book. Next book I have is the Grimm's Fairy Tales, the completion of it by Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm. I honestly don't like this copy. It's kind of rough looking. I was given this book, so no intentions of keeping it, and we'll get a whole different collection that will match my classic section. Alright, so the next 3 books I have are part of a trilogy. This is another one I was hesitant to kind of keep or not. But that is Wither, Fever, and Sever by Lauren DeStefano. I may reread the synopsis of the first book just to see if it grips me. If not, then I know my definite answer is a no. The next book that I have are all just by the same author, and that is Water Walker, Eyes Wide Open, and Hacker by Ted Dekker. I've had these on my shelf forever. I just don't think I'll be able to read them. The next book I have is Beware That Girl by Teresa Toten. Don't even remember what this book was about. The next one is Nerve by Jean Ryan. And another one, I wanted to watch the movie. I still have never watched the movie since it's come out, and wanted to read the book and decided no. And honestly, I hate the cover of this book, if we're being honest. I don't know why I don't like it. I just don't. I have is The Diamond Sisters by Michelle Motto. Alright, the next book I have is Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen. Watched the movie many years ago. Wanted to eventually read the book, but I never read the book. And, yeah, here we are. I don't think I'll magically read it. I'd be surprised if I did. The next one is P.S. I Still Love You by Cecilia Ahern. I got the newer paperback copy, which I think is way prettier than this copy, and yeah. Please don't hate me for it being bent up because it's been in a tote. And that is Dear Evan Hansen. This is actually a Broadway musical that was written into a book and is now a movie. I got the finished copy, and yeah, so debating about keeping this one because I feel like this is a very unique art to have. We shall see. My phone died when I was recording this, and I don't know where I left off, so I'm kind of like, anywho, let's get back to the book haul. I'm at the book unhaul. I need to get together, I know. Is The Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd, and I love this movie. I just don't think I will ever read this book as much as I would love to. I can't give it the attention it deserves. Next book I have is The Fame Game by Lauren Conrad. Was gifted to me. have no interest in reading it. So I think this is the last book. I may have left out some books because of my phone dying in the middle like of the next book I was about to do. So I think this is the last one. If so, if I forgot any books, I am so sorry. They're going away anyways, so it's not like you're really going to be seeing a whole lot of them anyways. Next and final book I have is Revolution by Jennifer Dinelli. This one I picked up when I was like 15. Never once really looked at it again and just have kept it through the years, and therefore no point of keeping it. We're moving on. I know that I said there's a couple of books that I'm kind of hesitant to get rid of. Even if I decide to keep some of those books, I will have gotten rid of a lot. The total will be somewhere in here. I'm really proud of myself because this is a huge progress for me, because I usually don't unhaul books. I usually keep them forever, and I don't need to do that. I do not have enough shelf space. As you can tell in the background, I literally have books like stacked right on like the bottom shelf because I don't have room. And it's like that on the other side of my library too. This space is just, I can't add in another bookshelf, so I'm kind of very limited on what I do. I don't really want to stack all my books on my shelves. I'm trying not to do that, but majority of my shelves have stacks, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm not gonna not buy books, you know, so we gotta kind of meet somewhere in the middle when it comes to that. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so glad to have been able to film a video for you guys. Let me know if there's any books that you're like, you should keep that and read it. It may surprise you. Definitely let me know, because I'm definitely interested in hearing your thoughts about that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!